Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the Ale and Audio podcast, obviously. Now, I'm very, very pleased to have been asked to do this today by Paul at the Kraken Knight Inn Pub shed up in the Newcastle area. Now, I'm going to bring him in and we'll get chatting about what it is, but you probably will have seen this already on your Instagrams and stuff like that, because Paul, as well as being a fantastic pub sheddy and member of the community, is also very, very talented, and he's done something very talented for a very, very important and worthy cause. So let's bring him in then. It's Paul of the Kraken Knight Inn. How are you doing, Paul?
Hello, yes, I'm good, mate.
Good to see you. How's it going? Are you all good?
Yeah, the day's finally arrived to get rid of this painting behind us. So I've become quite attached to it as well. It makes a good addition in the shed actually. So, but
It
no,
does.
it's got to
So,
go.
well, that's it. For the listeners, of course, we're talking about the famous Sycamore Gap painting. Obviously, the tree was famous anyway for just for being an amazing scene and sight and a landmark in your particular sort of neck of the woods. And then
Yeah,
obviously it kind of got famous for unfortunate reasons, didn't it, as well, Paul?
yeah, it's absolutely terrible. I've not been up since it's been felled, but apparently the tree's in a safe location, waiting to be. They're going to do something with it, and they don't quite know what they're going to do with the landscape yet. But it'll never be the same without that iconic view, will it?
Exactly, and you obviously decided to paint that. That was, I'm guessing, the news of that happening was one of the things that encouraged you to actually do the painting in the first place. It obviously, and your art obviously means quite a lot to you as well.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? It's something I should have got round to painting a while back. I love painting landscapes, and it's one of the most iconic in the Northeast. I've always had that in my mind to paint, and unfortunately, the kick up the backside was it getting destroyed. So it's unfortunate reasons, but something good came out of it because I've finally managed to do it. So yeah, it's something that I'm not keeping a hold of.
And that's it. And we will. You're right in saying that. Obviously, it was bad and awful that the tree was felled, but and it meant a lot of things to a lot of people. But even now, even though it's now not there, it's still doing good things, and it's doing good things this
Yeah.
time through your painting. You've obviously painted it, and it's for such a worthy cause, which obviously means a lot, and it is a very close sort of cause to your heart as well. So I know you'll have obviously posted about this, and obviously everybody's
Yeah.
read about it. But tell us, just tell the podcast listeners what it's all about.
Yeah, so it was. I've been wanting to raise some money for an autistic charity for a while now, just with my son Alex. He's 13. The help he's got along the way from various specialities, speech and language therapy, brought out his speech when we didn't know if he was going to be non-verbal. The school that he's at is fantastic. All the services that helped him to get him there. He's learning some great life skills, which are for me more important than his grades at school. But obviously, that is approaching where he will be going to college, and what's next. I see a lot of it in my job where people leave school who are on the spectrum, and then there's nothing for them. They don't end up getting jobs, and pushing the social button on someone with autism is massive, because we see it when during the 6 weeks holidays, if Alex doesn't get out for a few days, he becomes a recluse and he doesn't want to mix around people. So it's essential that we keep pushing the social aspect part of his life. And that's one thing that has worried us. So I decided now's the time to try and make it happen, where I can raise some money for a charity. And I looked at the Northeast Autism Society, and they specifically look at getting people out into the working community. So it all tied in, really. I thought, keep it Northeast based, and I could paint any landscape. But I thought, why not? I'm Northeast based, so why not just keep the theme going? If somebody wants it, to come from someone from the Northeast.
Exactly. And I mean, it's not just, I mean, obviously we'll get on to talking about, the talent very shortly as well for painting, but not just the effort that you've gone to with that, but also the effort you've gone to with the getting it out there and pushing the fundraising attempt, because you've done amazingly well. I mean, it's not just this podcast you're on, but you've kind of, got into the newspapers and even BBC radio as well, haven't you, Paul?
Yeah. I've just thought, that's not something which is in my comfort zone to go out there and push it, But I thought with the cause being what it is, and I've only got a month, everyone was great in donating, pub shed community, the beer influencers, and I thought I need to do extra. I need to get it out there in my home. So I just kind of pushed at it and was a little bit forward with contacting BBC Radio Newcastle, and they were like, "Yeah, come into the studio, we'll have you on." And then I've put it on the Works internet so that people from work can put in. So everyone's chipped in, really. It's actually been amazing how many people have contributed and contacted us and just saying how great it was. Yeah, it's been brilliant.
And of course, thank you for mentioning the Ale and Audio podcast on there as well. I did catch that. That was
Yeah.
brilliant. Thank you for that. But in terms of the picture, then, how many hours went into that? Because I mean, that would have, as I said, that would have taken me this amount of time. I just wouldn't have been able to do it full stop. But it would have taken me a long, long time to even get to the level of being able to paint anything like that and then finish it as well. I mean, it's amazing. How long did that take?
Oh, thanks. So anyone who's listened to me Radio Newcastle interview, she put me on the spot, and I just fired a number out, which was it correct? I don't know. I haven't clocked myself. Usually, if I'm doing a piece for someone, I'll kind of run it by an hourly rate. But this one I didn't clock it, and I'm glad because I really enjoyed it. Coming in from work, 2 hours here and there, Sunday afternoon. Oh, I'm going to sit down and do some of my painting. So the hours were really put in. I'd like to think it was round about the 15, 20 hour mark. But it's just been enjoyable not having that pressure on us to keep track of everything. So it's one of my most enjoyable pieces I've ever painted.
It's brilliant. And, we'll get on shortly to talk a little bit more about that and what you might do next, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think we ought to do the draw. But before we do the draw, just tell us what your grand total is that you've managed to raise through, obviously, through pushing this to the Pub Shed Home Bar, Be a Lover community, but then also, what you've done getting it into the, the local media as well.
Yes. The grand total I got was, you've got to add gift aid, apparently. The charity told me about this. So altogether, it was £1,090 raised.
Absolutely brilliant. Amazing.
Yeah, thanks.
Brilliant.
So
good going.
I've already been contacted by the charity who said they want to do a presentation, announce the winner their end, and big check.
Oh yeah, gotta have a big check. Yeah, it's all about a big check, isn't it? Yeah,
So I'll put that on Instagram.
Yeah, that's it. Absolutely brilliant, though, that. So, I mean, we'll talk more briefly in a second just about the painting itself. But obviously, it's time to do the draw, isn't it? So, with that many tickets sold, it was basically, was it like per £2 it was a ticket or something like that? Is that how it worked, sort of thing?
Yeah. So everyone that donated, say it was £4, that's two numbers. So the first person, which was my wife, who's not going to be winning, she put £10 in, so that was 1 to 5, and then everyone else from then on, however many pounds they donated, generated the tickets, and I just kept track of it on my phone and kept it on the notes.
That's it.
It's got up to, I think it's 458 now. We're up to.
It is, yeah. So we're all teed up to do the draw. Then I'm really honoured that you're allowing us to do this. So hopefully, I'm not going to actually cock it up either. But we've sort of trialed making sure we can get it loaded up and everything like that. So pretty confident we'll be all right. So here we go. Then here's our number spinner. You can see we've got in the numbers there 1 to 458. So, do you want to count us in? Do us a bit of a countdown, Paul?
Can I just show first as well, just to show how transparent this is on my phone? This is me painting raffle, which has got everyone on, and it goes all the way down to 458. So I'll bring
There
this
we
up
go.
once it's drawn and I'll show the winner.
Okay, there we go. So, yeah, you can do as a little countdown then, and then I'll hit spin at the end of that. So yeah, here we go. Go on then, Paul.
Right, okay. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Spin the wheel. Here we go. Who's it gonna be? It's a long spin.
It's a good one.
And it's still going.
Number 53.
Number 53. Well done. But who is number 53?
So, number 53 on the painting, let's have a look. There you go. 51 to 55 was Victoria Gray. So that's someone from work who's donated. Yeah. So
Very good.
everyone was in with a chance. Everyone was on the list.
Excellent. Good stuff. Well done once again. Give her a round of applause. The very lucky owner now of that amazing painting, the Sycamore Gap, that we can see behind you. Absolutely brilliant. And once again, well done on that amazing fundraising effort. It's going to go to such an important cause, and obviously one very close to your heart as well. I mean, what's next then? What you might not be fundraising, but obviously you've got one picture done. Have you got any more in the works at the minute? Is there anything you'd like to paint?
Yeah. So
Apart from your actual walls of your shed, or you're out, doing the old weatherproofing and all that. We're talking about your art, obviously.
that's the summer renovations coming up. But yeah, art wise, yeah, I've got a little plan because I seen one of the breweries. I think it was Full Circle Brewery put out lately. Is there any local artists? Well, Full Circle's just about 20 minutes down the road from me. So they were asking for any local artists, but you had to have a bit of a portfolio. Now, unfortunately for me, everything I've painted, I've sold. I've kept one particular piece, which was a Northumbrian forest. So my plan is I'm going to start painting more landscapes and doing it on my time scale like this one. So I enjoy it because it's really given me the bug back to start doing them when I'm not pressured. And I'm going to start doing some Northumbrian landscapes. My next one that I've got in mind's like a purple skied Bamborough Castle. Plus, I think if anyone wants to buy them, it's something that it's come from the northeast. It's keep it regional rather than paint something that's over in a different country. So that's the plan.
You could even incorporate the recently captured Northern Lights by everybody that everyone was seeing, that I completely missed. I think I was the only person in the country who didn't see them. You could even incorporate them into the picture.
Oh, definitely. I was hoping to get a photograph myself, but I went out and seen white sky, and it wasn't until the next day that I was told that was the Northern Lights. You've got to photograph it for it to show.
Okay, fair enough.
So I actually did see it, but yeah, you can't see it with the naked eye. I never knew that.
See, I didn't even. My wife said this to me, and I thought, nah, Gio, you can see him. Surely you can. So it's actually white what you see, and then you take a picture, and then it comes out that colour, does it? Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But I've been thinking, I've got some spare wall space in my shed, so I was thinking, why not incorporate there's a quite iconic shot of the Wylam Brewery because it's like an art palace. The Palace of Arts it's called, but it's an old art museum and it's a beautiful building. So I was thinking, I should really get that painted and whacked up on the walls in here.
Definitely. And I think one thing that this whole thing, and this chat with you and then what you've done and everything's a really good, thing we could sort of bring up as well. Are there any other pub sheddies, home bar owners or beer lovers out there with hidden talents? So obviously we all know each other for the beers we drink, the sheds we've got, all that kind of stuff and the laughs that we have online and so on. But are there any other people out there who've got these sort of hidden talents, as wacky as it might be, or as, arty as it might be, as creative, or just something, that's a bit of an odd talent, anything at all? We'd love to know. We ought to have Sheddies Have Got Talent or something like that, like a bit of a game show. I'm sure, yeah. Pablo will be picking up on that soon. So yeah. But anyway, so we'd love to hear from more people who have got those kind of talents as well. It'd be brilliant, whatever that talent might be. But Paul, once again, thank you very much for joining us. What are you up to this weekend?
I've got a weekend off, so Saturday I'm going to be watching the boxing. Why not?
Of course,
It's one of the biggest fights in history on paper. So yeah, I'll be doing that. But Friday, I think I'm going out in Newcastle actually for a rare day out, afternoon out, have some beers.
You do right.
See if I can drag the missus to a couple of brewery taps rather
Yes.
than bars in Newcastle and sip in the local lager. But yeah, and then just Sunday, just chilling out. That's the plan.
Well, do that then. That sounds good. Well, thank you once again for joining us, and well done on that amazing fundraising and that amazing painting as well. So I'm sure we'll speak to you again very soon, Paul.
Yeah. Thanks for having us on. It's been great.